For the last decade, Catalyst for Change, or CFC Wear, has been infusing a touch of Maine in its brand.
But its mission goes beyond creating clothes and accessories.
Cool. All right.
It's impossible to travel back in time.
This was, oh my God, this was 2008. I did this at Hudson University.
But for Kyle Poissonnier, this box of old t-shirts,
So this has got foil on it. So just take a gander.
Is a portal to his past.
We were 22. We had no clue what we were doing. And Ed Hardy was a really big thing. Our marketing in the beginning was to give it to, because we played college football, we were like, well, who do we know that went to the NFL? That was literally our marketing scheme, was like, who can we give this to that can like get it to somebody big?
These designs were just the beginning. More than 10 years later, Poissonnier's brand, Catalyst for Change, or CFC Wear, has grown into a Maine success story. His designs, featuring the famous "Just a Kid from Maine" slogan, are shipped around the world, and most recently have been featured in LL Bean's Freeport flagship store. It's a dream come true, and one that almost didn't happen.
You kind of look back at that time and it's almost like a cry for help.
Yeah.
What was going on for you?
Personally, for me, there was a lot. I had experienced, the death of my grandfather, who was the male figure of my life growing up. We were very close. I experienced the death of one of my best friends from college. We didn't leave on the best of terms. So it was really heavy. And I think for me too, I think at that age, I really thought I would be farther along with what I was doing. And so I felt a lot of shame, depression. I was so used to being like an outward, happy-go-lucky guy that that never talked about anything. Never did. So to me, I felt like nobody was reaching out to me because of those reasons. And I was angry about that.
Then, beloved actor Robin Williams died by suicide.
It was somebody from my childhood. That makes it, I guess, more real. And I think back to some suicides that I've experienced of people that I knew growing up. And it was always, so-and-so had an accident. Don't talk about that. We're not going to bring up that person's name, XYZ. I remember just sitting in Portland, and I remember thinking about what is the one thing that people would resonate with, that as far as a look goes, and it was the buffalo plaid. We just put our logo on it and called the Suicide Awareness and Prevention hoodie.
From there, sayings like "keep going," "refuse to sink," and "stay" were added into the mix. Each message of hope hand-pressed onto shirts, hats, and sweatshirts. Kyle was at the center of something special.
I would compare it to maybe coming out for the first time. It was, I guess, that pressure that people feel where you don't know what the response is going to be. And the response was like a very warm hug. That was when I realized that I am not alone in any of this, and it's extremely important to speak up, especially as a man. And that was, it saved me, literally and figuratively. It saved me. And that was where I kind of realized in that moment, this was a very important thing that we needed to keep talking about.
So it sounds like it went from a cry for help almost to this cathartic experience for you.
It did. It's not like those feelings go away. There are times where this past year was extremely tough for me. The only difference was from 2013 to this year is that I felt alone in 2013. And this year, I wasn't alone.
Your brand, your messaging, it's given people an opportunity to be seen in a way that they haven't been seen before. Did you ever expect it to grow and expand into what it's become?
No, I just, for 2013, I just wanted to make a positive impact through whatever it is I was going through. I definitely did not think that we would become this community that people feel comfortable talking about sometimes tough things.
The number of people dying by suicide in the U.S. has increased dramatically in the last decade, according to data from the CDC. Despite that sobering reality, Kyle says the conversations around mental illness and suicide are shifting.
I mean, we have people that have keep going tattoos on their wrists, refuse to sing tattoos on their forearm because those words that we put on shirts, mean that much to them. I hope in 10 years that this conversation can be more of a, if you need help, here it is. Here's educational tools, here's resources, and we can look back at it from above and kind of say, this was how people felt, and this is how they got help, and they're still here.
I always love talking to Kyle because he's really good at taking a really complex issue and turning it into something that we can all understand.
Yeah, and he has the courage to bring up the issue in the first place. Not just the courage, but the willingness. Talking about it in a matter of fact, reasonable but important kind of way.
Absolutely. And so, by the way, every September is Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month. So CFC, they have designs dedicated to mental health. So all last month they had their t-shirts, sweatshirts dedicated to that. So money will go to the AFSP, which is the Suicide Prevention Program here in Maine. They also donate money to the Maine Children's Program. So making people look good while doing good at the same time.
It's nice to see those ripples going out in a lot of directions to help people.
Mm-hmm.